Bishop Philip Anyolo, Father Jackson, Father Pamugunda, and Father Agunga, who is a member of the MAGOHA family, and all the rest of the clergy who have presided over this Mass. We thank you for your service to our departed brother, and we thank you for your service to humanity. We want to thank all those who have come here to mourn with the MAGOHA family and to wish as well. Thank you all for coming. Let me dispose of one minor detail. I served with Professor MAGOHA in the same cabinet, but my relationship with the MAGOHA family dates back some 83 years ago, when my mother became an orphan and his Mama Sarah, that is the mother of MAGOHA, who took in my mother and brought my mother up. I can see former peers Belio looking at me strangely when I mention that, because any time I had issues at the Ministry of Education, I never went to Professor MAGOHA for any favors. I went to Belio. And I never told you that your boss was my cousin. Don't think that even Dr. Former head of public service, Dr. Kinyua, knew that. And I'm glad you didn't know, because maybe you would not have appointed him CS, because you would not have accepted a situation in which two cousins serve in the same cabinet. So I'm here as a member of the family, not as a former CS. But I'd like to acknowledge the distinguished presence with us here today, members of the current government, CS Juguna Ndongu of Treasury, CS Ezekiel Machogu of the Ministry of Education, CS Eliud Owalo, and I also like to acknowledge the former CSs who are here, CS Amina Mohammed, CS Rachel Omamo, CS Betty Maina, CS Farida Karne, who will be giving a tribute on behalf of us, his former colleagues. I've mentioned former head of civil service, Joseph Kinyua. I'd like to acknowledge the distinguished presence also of Professor Kiamba, who worked with Professor at the university, Professor Mbithi, Professor Mugenda. I'd like to acknowledge respectfully the presence of members of Parliament, Elisha Odhiambo, Member of Parliament for Game, who has worked with the family during this difficult time. Honorable Mboko Amalemba, I'm told, is also here. I've mentioned Belio Kipsang, Dr. Sarah Ruto. I'd like to say thank you very much for coming, and please forgive me if you are in the congregation and I have not acknowledged you. Just as I've owned up to the fact that I'm here as a member of the family and not as a former colleague in government, the family has decided and requested most politely that on this occasion we keep the service dignified and that there will be no politics in our encounter in this church today. Please bear with us as a family, because it has been difficult. In 2021, we buried again one of the brothers of Professor MAGOHA, and it was a twin funeral in 2021 in January. It was a twin funeral. It was Arnold Agunga and his daughter, Dr. MAGOHA, and they are buried on the same day. On the day before Professor's death, I was at his house discussing the details of the funeral of Professor Nyabera, his brother, who died in the United States. And in some strange way, he said, Raphael, we are losing and burying our younger brothers, because he referred to the fact that I also buried my younger brother and he was there for me. And he said we should be ready, because our time can come anytime. A day later, he had passed on. On the day that he passed on, that evening he was supposed to go and receive the body of his brother Nyabera, only for his brother's body to arrive when he was in the same mortuary. So we have gone through a difficult time. So bear with us, please. No politics. Having said that, I like to say that we must give chance to those who are in this program, but I want to request that please make your statement in 3 minutes or less, because this church has been very kind to us. This program has to end by 12 noon. There was another program which was pushed just to accommodate us. We thank the church most sincerely, and we should obey the time limits, because there are many people on the program, as you have seen. I'm requesting that when you come here, you will keep it as short as possible. So, without any further ado, I'd like to request the representative of the Sagas, Dr. Jegere. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, the Master of Ceremony. In the interest of time, allow me not to go through the protocols as they have already been done. I am honored to make this tribute on behalf of the Ministry of Education Sagas. I am sure they picked me because Professor MAGOHA has left an indelible mark